Hello, everyone, and welcome back to High School Python. Today, we're diving into a super important topic, variables. By the end of this lesson, you'll understand what variables are, how to use them, and why they're essential in coding. We'll also explore two key Python functions. The input function, which allows us to get information from a user. The print function, which lets us display messages and data. Sounds good? Let's get started. In coding, we need to store and use data. That's where variables come in. Think of a variable like a labeled storage box in a computer's short-term memory. Imagine you're buying tickets for a show. You need to remember how many tickets you're buying, the price of each ticket, the total cost after multiplying the two. You could write all this down on a piece of paper, but in Python, we use variables instead. To understand variables, let's quickly talk about RAM, random access memory. Think of RAM as a giant storage area filled with billions of tiny boxes. Each box can store a single item, like a name, a number, or an instruction. When we create a variable in Python, we're putting a label on one of those boxes so we can find it later. For example, if we create a variable to store name, name is the label for the storage box. Alice is the value stored inside. If we then use the print function with the variable inside the parenthesis, Python will look for the box labeled name. Retrieve the value inside Alice. The print function will take this value and display in the shell. But here's something cool. Variables, as the name suggests, can change their values. Let's assign a new value to the name variable and make it Bobby. Now, the variable name holds Bobby instead of Alice because a variable can only store one value at a time. Look at the Variables panel to see this change. Let's try it with a number. We will make a variable called age. Assign it with the number 25. This stores 25 in a variable called age. And the print function lets us print it to the shell. The print function allows us to display messages or multiple values. If we want to print both the name and age together, we can do this. The comma separates values so Python prints them neatly. Pause the video now and try creating a variable for your own name and age. Then print them out. What if we want a user to tell us their name instead? That's where the input function comes in. The input function requires a prompt inside the parenthesis. Make sure you include the quote marks. A prompt is a message to the user telling them what data we want them to input. When this code runs, Python displays the prompt or message to the user. It waits for the user to type something and press enter. The text entered is stored in the name variable. Let's prompt the user to enter their name. Then print the name back out to the shell. We could do the same for age. Try this now. Pause the video, write your own input statements, and run the code. Great job! Today, we learned what variables are and how they store data, how to assign values to variables in Python, how to use the input function to collect user data, and how to use the print function to display information. If you're studying Python for GCSEs or another high school qualification, or you're just learning for fun, make sure to subscribe. I'll be posting tons of videos in 2025 to help you ace any Python exam, packed full of tips of what examiners are looking for to help ensure you don't miss a single mark. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next lesson.